of Brands International, joins me from Switzerland. You'll be delighted to know, so we have contributed to your profits. We paid for all of this, and I'm going to enjoy it afterwards. Anyway, we'll talk about the food in a second. If we look at this, you heard Jamie Dimon, if you look at this very difficult economic situation, still got some job growth, but the wage pressure, I mean, and yet people still paying an inflationary costs on your fast food.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, it's no secret there's a lot of challenges in the economy right now, but I think the QSR has proven to be extremely resilient. The last few years, we've been able to grow pretty effectively, and our brands have performed extremely well. I think if you look at last year alone, we built more than 1,000 restaurants outside of the U.S. and Canada. So internationally, we passed the 13,000 restaurant mark. Our system-wide sales were up by more than 20%. And of course, that's happening with Burger King, which is our biggest brand and most well-known around the world, as you're a consumer of. But it's also happening with our other brands like Tim Hortons and Popeyes. I think that these were, brands that we didn't really have any international business when we acquired them. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, what would you define as the quintessential trend shift? And I don't just mean people want healthier options and therefore they want less mayo or more salad or whatever it might be. But what for you is the trend that you've spotted and you've basically said to your teams, just go for it, get it?
Yeah, I think it's easily digitalization of the business. That's something that we've clearly seen for the last few years coming, and it's really accelerated through COVID and now into this year. I think it's kind of a rare win-win-win in this business. When you find those, you have to embrace them. Our customers tell us very clearly that they prefer their experience when they order digitally, whether it's on their phone or at a kiosk in the stores. They feel more comfortable, they have more time, they enjoy the experience better. Our team members in the restaurants tell us they prefer it as well. It simplifies their life. It allows them to spend more time preparing food and caring for our guests. And for us as a business, it's also better. I mean, every time someone orders digitally, it's a higher ticket, it's more profitability. And so this is something where internationally, more than 60% of our sales are already through digital channels, and we're trying to get to 100% as quickly as possible.
Russia has been an issue, but that's to one side. China is where you're going to grow. If you look at the worsening trade relations between the US and China, Martin Wolf was talking about it on this program earlier, are you concerned?
Yeah, look, I think that China, the people that are most important to us in China are our guests, and they've been coming to our restaurants and showing a lot of support for our brands. Burger King has been there for a long time now. We have more than 1,300 restaurants. I think since the economy reopened really fully in January, we've been seeing our business come back there very effectively. Tim Hortons is a huge growth story in China. Like, we opened our first restaurant there at the end of 2019, and last year we passed 600 restaurants, and the company actually got listed on the NASDAQ with a lot of growth ahead of it. And we just recently announced that we'll be restarting growth with Popeyes as well. So, I mean, obviously, we see the kind of tumult in the relations between the two countries, but it hasn't been impacting our business there.
And inflation, what's happening with consumers? Are we trading down? So instead of having the massive, we'll go for the minor. We won't buy perhaps the new chicken fries with chili, or indeed, oh, that looks very good with fries, my word. That looks indecently good. What's happening? Where are we trading down?
No, so I think that with our customers, we are seeing some trade down, but equally we're seeing a lot of people trade into the category that would have usually gone to casual dining or maybe to fast casual. So for us as a business, overall, it's a net positive. I think that we're obviously seeing inflationary pressures throughout our business, on the cost side, on the food costs, on labor, on utilities. That's a part of the P&L we used to never talk about, and now it's become very significant for us. But overall, we've been able to grow our top line at a fast enough rate that our profitability has remained strong at a restaurant level, and it's allowed us to continue growth all around the world.
How price elastic is the industry? We've often thought, and we always think of, I was always taught traditionally, biscuits, cookies, things like that. They are, if not recession-proof, at least recession-resistant. fast food can often be recession dependent. What do you think?
But I think for us, the equation is always the same that consumers are looking for. It's just good value for money. And
Right.
sometimes that means price, but it's all often a combination of a great product and a great experience, giving them what they feel is good value for their money. And so I think where we've done well, we've focused on offering the best products in the industry. That's why our portfolio is filled with the brands that we feel have the best products. Burger King, the best burgers, Popeyes, the best fried chicken, and so on. And when we do that and we have a seamless experience that allows guests to engage with us however they want to, whether it's delivery or in the restaurants through a drive-through, we see that equation still really works for people despite all of the pressure they're feeling on.
All right, this is the last unfair question, totally unfair, I freely admit. I'm going to buy you one item from all your range of products for lunch. One item. Doesn't matter whether it's a donut, a chicken, or from whatever. Which one are you going to go for?
It's the beauty of my job. I get to eat all of them. But if I had to pick one, it would be the Popeyes fried chicken sandwich. I think that I travel around the world and I go to all of our restaurants, try all of our food to make sure it's good quality, it's professional. But for that product, it's pure pleasure.
Pleasure. Now that I can identify with. Thank you, sir. Very good. Pure pleasure. There's a phrase to go on with. Good to see you. I'm grateful for your time. Coming up next.